So I'll start my presentation. So myself, Samson, I'm current CTO for NoteSpay, which is a Singapore-based application development company doing the blockchain-powered application, currently focusing towards construction industry. And this section going to be a brief introduction about how blockchain can empower and then bring innovative solutions to construction industry. So this section going to be the consists of background, where we briefly give an overview about the blockchain in construction industry, and then what are the potential opportunities we have with various blockchain technologies that can bring revolutionary products into a construction industry and enhance its features and usability. And then what are the current landscape and current existing blockchain application which are being used in the construction industry right now, and then the overall summary. So before going into the deep overview about blockchain in construction, I think it is very important to know what is blockchain is first, because whenever, like most of the times, whenever we mention as blockchain, most of them directly assume it is cryptocurrency. But the truth is, blockchain is not about cryptocurrency. Blockchain is a technology where many products can utilize it. So to put it in simple words, it's a data structure with the growing list of data blocks. So I give you a brief example. Imagine you are a student in a university and all your information, such as your student number, student ID, and then your subjects, and then your semester records, all those things are actually a data or information. So imagine your information is stored in one particular box, and then that is tied with one of your classmates' information box, and then the list goes on. So the same principle applies here. So here the data blocks are linked together, so that like it is not possible to entirely remove a particular block of data or to do any alteration, which provides a much more efficient security than what existing database models and then data structure models. For example, if you take traditional database, of course, it is possible to remove particular data table from a huge database. But whereas in blockchain, since all the data are linked together, it provides immunity against all those kind of alterations and then mispractices. And then the second terminology should be known for this particular session is smart contract. So smart contracts are programs. So something like a HTML or something like a Python programs that are stored inside a blockchain, and then they will run when certain conditions are met. So if you are from software engineering background or computer background, imagine smart contract is like if-else statement. So in if-else statement, if this condition met, then this action to be performed. So the same concept here, but whereas the program is stored inside the blockchain. And now comes to the brief background about blockchain and in construction industry. There are a lot of possible areas, both existing and then emerging areas in construction, where the blockchain can be utilized along with the other blockchain technology, which is a smart contract. So few of them includes your asset tokenization, and then with the power of blockchain, you can do a cross-border transaction, comparing much more secure, comparing with our existing cross-border transaction methodologies. And then with the blockchain in place, you can build all your documentation under one umbrella, which is actually called ledger. So the ledger is similar to our existing accounting ledgers, like maybe you would have seen in the construction industry, where you will keep a lot of ledgers for each project. So here, instead of your physical ledger, all the data is stored into a blockchain. So it cannot be removed, or it cannot be altered, or it cannot be destroyed. So why blockchain, especially for construction? So this is an important question. Many of you might get it when someone talks about why blockchain is to the construction field. So at first, there are three use cases where you can use blockchain, especially applicable for construction industry. One is payments, second is document maintenance, third is collaboration. So these are the three top areas where you can utilize the blockchain technology that you can that you can use it to enhance the construction industry under the process flow. So under the payment, blockchain allows you to view all the cash flow, and it's provide more transparent. If you remember from the beginning slide where I have mentioned, blockchain is basically all the data blocks are chained together. So you can see complete history of the chains. So comparing with against the transparent cash flow, you will see all the records, and you know each and every transaction and when it happened and what exactly happened inside a particular transaction and all those things. And then with the power of smart contract, you can do automated payouts, which reduces the delay payments. So in the beginning, I mentioned smart contracts are a computer program stored inside the blockchain. So imagine you are writing a smart contract program where your program logic starts from at this particular, if this particular date, this particular subcontractor completed this work, you have to bank in this much amount to his account. Imagine you wrote it as a program and put it as a blockchain. And when the correct date, when the due date comes, the program will automatically get execute and it will compare against your requirement. And if the requirement satisfied, it will automatically do a payout to your relevant subcontract. So this kind of payment related blockchain application can be utilize the private blockchain model. And then the document maintenance, which is basically used, is called ledger, hyperledger, meaning from the designing phase of a building to a maintenance phase of building, each and every minute document, starting from your building design, building maintenance plan, building development plan, building invoices, all those things can be stored centralized. And then with only the authorized person can access the data or the information that you have stored inside a blockchain. So this one you can use private if you're doing it as a private housing or private buildings development, or you can use with public blockchain model where the data is accessible to the whole internet, or it simply become like a public, anyone can access it. Or you can use consortium blockchain, which is basically a combination of both private and public blockchain, where you determine who will be accessing the records. So that's called consortia or federated blockchain model. And then the collaboration. So in the second thing, I have mentioned about document maintenance. So with the blockchain, a type called consortia blockchain, you can allow who can be participated in a particular blockchain network, and then who can access what kind of information. So this ensures no unwanted person or unwanted entity access to your data. So it's provide much more security comparing against our existing practices. So with these benefits from three main use cases, which are payments, document maintenance, and collaboration, blockchain provides decentralization where you can allow particular people to participate in a blockchain network and access your data, and it's provide security and then the transparency where you can track each and every minute detail for an event. So these are the three primary use cases that can be applicable, well suited for the construction industry for now and also in upcoming future. So now comes to the potential application where we already have existing applications to cover up the payments and then the other possible blockchain technologies that can bring innovative solutions to construction industry. So at first, verifiable credentials. So verifiable credentials are basically imagine an ID card, maybe your voter ID or citizenship registered ID. Instead of your physical card, all the data written into a blockchain, and then you are given with the maybe a URL or something or a hash value, where the verifier can use that hash value to ensure you are authorized and the authentic person. So this is called the verifiable credentials. So instead of your physical cards, all you will have is digital ID that are stored in blockchain, not in any other mediums such as cloud or those kind of technical storage spaces. So this is one of the application, and the estimated growth of this verifiable credentials market will be 6,822 USD million by 2017. So this is one of, so with this estimated growth, you can understand the impact of this particular blockchain technology that can bring innovative solution to construction industry. So second thing is Hyperledger. So as I previously, in my previous slide, I have mentioned about document storage. So this is the same concept. This particular technology is called Hyperledger. So same as the existing physical ledger, but all the data is stored in blockchain network, and you can filter out the participants who can take a look at your data and then access your information. So third is asset tokenization. Although this is slightly out of construction field, so asset tokenization is basically when it comes to real time, once the building is built or the construction is done, and assuming the price is 10 million USD or 15 million USD, and let's say we cannot buy as a whole, what we can do is we can divide the whole property into multiple tokens. So here the token is similar, what we are calling token is similar to Bitcoins or any other cryptocurrency. But here the token is attached to a physical property. Assuming you are buying the token of a 10 million USD worth of property divided into 10 portions, where each token is 1 million USD worth of it. So the moment you buy the 1 million USD worth of asset token, you are literally owning the $1 million worth of share from the physical property. So this is the main difference between typical cryptocurrencies and then the asset tokenization. Whereas in cryptocurrencies, you don't own a physical property, and also in NFTs. Yeah, NFTs, it is not like always you own some physical attachment to the token you are buying. But here, the token you are buying will have a physical value. And this particular asset tokenization market will get the estimated growth will be 24 USD trillion by the year of 2027. So another prop tech related or construction related field is can use the prop tech. So prop tech is basically property technology, where it consists of each and everything about building. So it inclusive of smart building, or it inclusive of building security, and then building management, and all those things under one umbrella. So with the what we can do using blockchain inside the prop tech is, if you currently take a look at the house rental portals or property portals, all you see is a post that was made by an agent or a house owner. So what the information they'll typically provide is, okay, what is the property specifications, how many bedrooms it has, and all those general information. And not many websites allows you to trace back to its previous owners. So let's say I want to buy a property, but I only know about like last 3 owners of the particular property, and I don't have any information about those previous owners of the properties. So that is the current scenario. But imagine if you are using blockchain into a property, especially for the property listing, you can literally trace back to the original owner or first buyer of the property, and you can trace back till the current owner. So it's provide a comprehensive history of the ownership and all the information a buyer should know before buying a property. So this is another area which has a lot of impact. So I have provided few references for the verifiable credential estimated growth, and then the asset tokenization market in 2027. So now applications in use, some of the existing applications. So one of the application is from NotesPay, where we are using the blockchain for the money transfer related things to ensure there is no late payment in construction industry. So this is a typical process which can be applicable to any kind of transaction involved. So under the verifiable credentials, which I mentioned earlier, so probably here I'll give you a rough overview about how it basically works. So in verifiable credentials, we typically have three parties. One is the issuer. So the issuer in the sense, any organization or an entity that issues the credentials. For example, if we take universities, once you completed your studies, the university will provide you a certificate or what you call the final record of your undergraduate or postgraduate degree. So those certificates, the current physical certificates, imagine they are being uploaded, or the information about your certifications is entered into a blockchain network and stored inside a blockchain. And at the end of the day, once your issuer provided updated the certificates in blockchain, the issuer will provide the holder a hash value. So hash value is basically like, maybe depending upon the hash family, the number of digits may change, but it typically 16 to 32 digit character. So the holder is the one who belongs to, who gets the ID, and then whenever they want to use that one, they will present it to a verifier, and then the verifier will have an interface that will allow to verify the hash value that is provided by the holder. So assuming for the process flow, imagine you are studying a student, you are studying in a university as a student. So once you complete your university, along with your physical certification, they are providing you a hash value that they are already, which means your university already uploaded your credit, the certificates to blockchain network and provide you the hash value. And when you're going for a job interview or for any other purposes, so instead of giving your physical certificates to your interviewer or for any other purposes, you're just telling them, okay, instead of the physical certificates, you can use this hash and then you can verify it. So the verifier will typically have an interface provided by the issuer. So let's say you are coming from University 123. So the University 123 website might already have a facility where you can just go and search the input the hash, and it will provide you all the information. So this is the typical flow. And the advantage of this one is this is not tamperable, because in the beginning I mentioned in blockchain all the data is linked together. So it is not like, okay, student 1 to 10 is linked into a blockchain and I want to delete the record of student 5. It is not actually possible unless if you delete it, the remaining blocks will come to know about it. So all the transactions are recorded and you can easily identify if any malpractices has done. So with this verifiable credentials, you can ensure the certificate that the holder is having is authentic and not tampered with duplicate certs or duplicate values. And when it comes to the construction industry, this verifiable credentials can applicable to a construction related certifications. So some of them include work completion certificate, where once the work is completed, instead of the subcontractor or the main contractor providing an NOC, non-objection certificate, in as a physical one, they can go with the verifiable credentials option. And then the another construction use case scenario where this verifiable credential can be applied is equipment safety certificate. For example, if you take a typical commercial building, based on the country and then the deciding authority or the building developer, they have certain standard, right? For example, okay, this equipment, let's say a lift, elevator, it should have certain security and then the safety features. Then they will provide you a certification, issue a certification. So instead of those kind of physical certificates, this verifiable credentials can be replaced, so that like it will be more transparent and then make sure it is not tampered. So this is all about the verifiable credentials and then the transaction that can utilize the blockchain technologies. So one of the example for OpenCert or the verifiable credential is called OpenCert. So it is from Singapore. So it is from Singapore government organization. So it is actually an open source. So typically you can go there and actually you can see how it works, and you can even implement into your application or your program. So the GitHub link is provided below. So probably you can take a look at it. So that's all for the technical side and then all the explanation. So this is time to wrap it up. So as a summary, at the first I explained what is the blockchain and how it can benefit the construction industry by providing the decentralization, transparency, and then security. And then we have seen about the potential worth of verifiable credentials, and then the asset tokenization. And then we have gone through a few of the existing blockchain powered applications that can be applied with construction. So that's all for the presentation.